So in the previous episode, Reggie Sr., you talked about some different kidnappings and some people in the city of Compton. I know of another incident that you was involved in where it was actually a guy from Watts whose brother got killed in Compton, where his brother from Watts, Grape Street, Watts, the area that I grew up in. I went to elementary school till the first grade in. But the area that I grew up in, these guys came to Compton and caused a little bit of chaos. Would you mind speaking on those story?
No, they caused a whole lot of chaos. He's saying a little bit of chaos, but it was on. This was an incident, as he said, it's a shot caller from Grape Street. People may know him. If I get to talking about it, they'll know who he is, but I knew him since he was a baby, and personally, he has a lot of respect for me, and I do for him as well to a degree. But anyway, this person's brother was killed at Alondra and Long Beach Boulevard at a gas station. I think he was getting some air, but he had at the time what was quite popular to have, and you had to have a little money to have them. They call them Daytons. These are special rims.
Killer Daytons.
Well, that was what they started naming them because people started getting killed behind those Daytons, getting jacked and stuff. And in this case, that was exactly what happened. Apparently, this person's brother is from Grape Street, but he was over, because it's a Crip area, over in Alondra and Long Beach, which is South Side. And, but some of the, I guess this particular guy who I ended up arresting, he was trying to be a wannabe. Matter of fact, he was a Asian, Hawaiian, Samoan or something. Samoan. And he wanted to be part of the Southside group, so he kind of did like an initiation thing where he felt as though he was going to jack this dude for the date, not knowing who he was or how connected he was, and shot and killed him and jacked the car, So once that happened, this shot caller, who was well connected throughout all sets, and shot caller and Jordan Downs with Grape Street, as soon as they found that out and found out that it was somebody from Southside who had shot his brother, that happened early in the evening, 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. All of a sudden, we started getting shootings all over Southside. 3 or 4 different shootings. And that was them grabbing people, kidnapping people, shooting them, or whatever, to get information of who was responsible in Southside for the killing. So after we worked about a couple of homicides and all that, I was working real close, me and the investigator, who was the investigator. I was like the gang's street cop sergeant, but the investigator was my buddy who passed on, rest in peace. Marvin Branscombe was the investigator. So naturally, we jumped on this case right quick because we knew we had to solve it and get this done, or we were going to have more shootings than we had that night in Southside. But actually, they got more information than me or Marvin got, because they were, like we said, contacting and grabbing up Southside people. And matter of fact, his mother was quite involved in it. I love her to the day. She was quite involved. And she kept feeding me the information that the shot caller and his people and his other brother and them were getting from these Southside people. And it led us to this particular Samoan guy, who wasn't, but I think he was a juvenile, 16, 17, a big dude though, big Samoan dude. And I don't mean fat or nothing, I mean a kid about 6'1", 6 something, weight and muscular. But he's the one that did the jacking. And it took us about 2 or 3 days after they were doing their investigation. Matter of fact, they did what you call the legwork on finding out who the suspect was. So I got a picture of him, did a photo lineup, and we had a witness. We had somebody who saw the jack go down, and they identified.
Because it was at a gas station.
Yeah, he was getting air in the tire. But anyway, found out who the suspect was, and come to find out the motive was he was trying to connect with Southside. But he found out he lived over in Southgate. So I knew he was a suspect because I was present with Marvin Branscombe when we showed the lineup. And I knew he lived in Southgate. We were preparing to do an arrest warrant, and we were going to hit the house the next morning or something. We were going to hit the house on that, but I knew who his suspect was. I was on my way that evening to Los Padrinos with an unrelated juvenile suspect who was being booked at Los Padrinos. But me with my adventuresome self, I took the guy and dropped him off at Los Padrinos, the suspect.
For those of y'all don't know, that's LP.
Yeah, it's juvenile hall. It's since closed down. Right over in Southgate area, over there. I'm coming back to head to the station, but I said, let me pass by this house just to kind of take a look at it. It's apartments, really apartments. And knowing we were going to hit it the next morning, I passed by the house, and I'm in a plain car, you know, and all that. As I drive by, lo and behold, who's walking toward the apartment? The suspect, by himself, out walking. Now, I'm by myself. You know, I'm out of Compton, but, you know, I don't have the tools that's supposed to possess safety. I don't have them. I didn't have them. I have them now. Yeah. But I said, forget this. Why come here in the morning looking for him and he may not be home? There he is. Yeah. So I pull up and I said, hell, I'm getting him. So I went to get out the car, but he knew me and he spotted me. Before I can get out, I had called for backup. I wasn't that dumb. Right. And I told them to locate Southgate PD and let them know I'm pursuing a murder suspect at this location. Yeah. So I kind of thought I can ease my way out the car and get him before he goes inside. Yeah. But all of a sudden he realized it was me, even though I was plain clothes and all, and he boogied for the house, to apartment. He ran. And my dumb butt, I ran right in the house, right behind him. And once I entered the house, it was like Samoans, about 3 or 4 of them in the living room. I mean, OGs, women, and everything. And he got head, tail, and here my little butt running in there with a gun out, talking about nobody, you know, and I'm out. He heads to the back, to one of the bedrooms. And by that time, as I started going to the bedroom, I could see Southgate PD hitting the door as well. Okay. They were there to back me up. So I went all the way in the back, and he grabbed over to his mother, or sister, whoever was older, and started holding her. Don't let him take me, mama. Don't let him take me. Don't let him take me. So here I am. Do I grab this kid and start fighting him with his mama? Southgate is coming in the door, don't know what the heck happened. Yeah. So I just put my gun and went right quick and say, hey, I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I'm just trying. I got to take him. I got to talk to him. I got to talk to him. Let him go. By that time, more policemen start coming in. So mama said, go with him. Go with him. And she walked us out, and I then handcuffed him and set him in my car. Yeah. And that's how I made the arrest. Now, that kind of upset my watch commander and stuff because, hey, fool, why are you out there chasing suspects?
On your own.
In Southgate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But, hey, that's just the story. I ended up taking the kid, admonished him and all. He told the whole story. He just, okay, because I told him, you know, he might be in a little trouble because the group that's looking for him and whose brother he shot. And he just said, man, I'll tell you everything. And he ended up confessing to the whole murder charge. And that worked out. But I don't condone what his brothers and them did and his mom and them to get the information, but I credit them for that. And he subsequently got convicted on that homicide.
Yeah.
That was an interesting case.
Yeah.